really in the midst of a strong session here. The container has been very strong, starting last night and then moving into this morning. So practice is deepening for all of us. What a beautiful day to sit session and to work out on the grounds. Boy, I almost wanted the Samu period to keep going. It was just so great, hauling twigs, and yeah, I'm not kidding. It's really, really good. I don't know how the rest of you feel, but maybe you got tired. Some of you were doing a lot of deep digging, a lot of heavy duty work. So what I'd like to share in this Dharma talk here is just appreciating the essential quality of participation, participating in our lives. Don't be a spectator in session, don't be a spectator in your practice, and really don't be a spectator in your life. And some of you might have gotten my Zen at Work newsletter that I sent out yesterday, and this was the theme of my newsletter. That audience isn't so much, as far as I know, a practice first audience. So I want to go into some of the more practical practice-oriented dimensions of this practice of participating in our lives. Yeah, what is it, when you look at your life, just I wonder if you just ask yourself, am I a full participant in my life? What comes to you? Be honest. Be honest with yourself. Am I fully participating? If you're fully participating in your life, you don't really know what's going to happen. Okay, if you have any sort of idea about how things are going to happen, or how they're going to unfold, and you've got kind of an agenda that's really controlling you, is that full participation? Or is there energy going to that idea to maintain and control, how things work out? How much of the mental energy is going in that direction? When you're really participating, it's like you're right in the thick of it. Right in the thick of I don't know, it could be a boxing match, it could be whitewater rafting, it could be skydiving. I'm using these as metaphors for things that you suddenly find yourself completely absorbed in without any sense of yourself, right? You just have to take care of the moment. If you've got an artistic practice or a performance, a performative art and performer, you find this total immersion. That's really participating. But we don't want to depend on these kind of peak experiences or, highly, say, intense or charged or thrilling, thrill-seeking opportunities or situations to be fully alive and fully participating in life. I think some people probably, they only feel like they're fully participating when they are doing something like that. So they get drawn to those types of experiences and they rely on those to elicit their full participation. But what we want is to really fully participate, body, heart, mind, in whatever it is we're doing. Yeah, and this is a transformative way of being. This is the Zen path. some of the phrases from Genjokoan, Dogen's Genjokoan, really resonate for me in this way. So some of you know this metaphor. Dogen writes, however, if a bird departs from the sky or a fish leaves the water, it immediately dies. So there's a couple lines before this. Yeah. When a fish swims, no matter how far it swims, it doesn't reach the end of the water. When a bird flies, no matter how high it flies, it cannot reach the end of the sky. When a bird flies through the sky, flying in the sky is the undivided Dharma. Its activity of flying in the sky cannot be measured. Flying in the sky is the entire universe because the entire universe is flying in the sky. But if a bird departs from the sky, or a fish leaves the water, it immediately dies. We should know that for a fish, water is life. For a bird, sky is life. A bird is life, a fish is life. Life is a bird, life is a fish. And we should go beyond this. There is practice enlightenment. This is the way of living beings. Okay. Fish and birds. Goats and cats and dogs from our day here at Willow Farm. Yeah. So for a human, what is life? For the fish, water is life. For the bird, sky is life. For a human, what is life? That's the question. That's the fundamental point of the Genjokoan that we have to actualize. How do we leave it? You know, if a bird departs from the sky or a fish leaves the water, it immediately dies. I mean, in the case of the fish, that's actually quite literal. It isn't literal in the case of the bird, but he's saying something very important, which is our tendency to depart from the very medium of our life. So Dogen goes on and says, therefore, if there are fish that would swim or birds that would fly, only after investigating the entire ocean or sky, they would find neither path nor place. I want to appreciate this. This is really, really good. Okay. This is one way we depart our water, our sky, our medium, you could say. Right? Our essential environment. We investigate it. We try to investigate it. Right? Imagine that. Here's the bird sitting there. It's like, okay, I gotta map out this whole thing before I flap my wings. Or up in the nest. Okay, I gotta see exactly what's going on here. All right, before I leave this nest. Well, wait, hold on, what's that? What's out there? I'm not leaving until I. Or the fish, investigating the entire water. This is like 80% of the earth is water. I'm not leaving this place until I've investigated in my mind this entire terrain. That's how we depart, right? That's how we depart, as I see it. Okay? If we would leave our life, our essence, our stream, or we should say, if I don't even choose to enter my stream until I've investigated it with my mind, if we leave it, we die. That's what Dogen says. And if we refuse to even enter it, we will find neither place nor path. So I think as humans, as we grow, once we've been, really conditioned in our egoic identifications, so, in that 5 to 15 years old range, we get pretty defined, self-defined, right? Maybe even before that, I'm not sure, maybe it's age 2 to 15. Any child psychologists know better than me. But that egoic center of identification becomes our world, right? We're not in touch with this essence, our true nature. Right? If we've cut ourselves off from it, or our conditioning has caused us to become cut off from it. Okay, so all of us come here seeking that source, that ever-present source of who we are right now. And now we're looking for our place and we're looking for our path. Those are slightly different things, actually. So to appreciate both of these, we're looking for our place. So, what is my home? You could say, what is my home? And then what is my path? What am I doing here? Where am I going? So we can't find our place or our path by being outside of them. That's like investigating, before participating. And what Dogen is saying is it doesn't work that way. Is we have to participate in order to find the path and the place. When we make this very place our own, our practice becomes the actualization of reality, Genjokoan. When we make this path our own, our activity naturally becomes actualized reality. This path, this place, is neither big nor small, neither self nor others. It has not existed before this moment, nor has it come into existence now. Therefore, the reality of all things is thus. That can get a little bit abstract, perhaps. Uchiyama, Okamura rather. This is a great book, by the way. This is Realizing Genjokoan, which is Okamura Roshi's commentary on the Genjokoan, which I'm working with one of you in Dharma Dialogue with this great text. We have Dogen, and we have Uchiyama, and then we have ourselves, all in a four-way conversation. But Okamura talks about, having Genjokoan really change his life, because as a young man he was looking for the meaning of life and looking for the meaning of his life, studied philosophy and religion and all of these things, and then he found his teacher Uchiyama Roshi, who shared with him this practice of Zen, which is bringing alive Dogen's teachings, which is you're not going to find it outside of participating in it. This part, you have to find it by participating in your life. And Okamura says, when I decided to become Uchiyama Roshi's disciple and actually began to practice Zazen, I finally found my path and my place. When I chose one thing and actually did it, I had a path on which I could proceed. The actualization of reality is not a concept or philosophical idea. It is actual practice using one's body and mind that are connected with the entire world. This broad, flexible, and endless path of Zazen practice has led me to a wondrous and unbelievable way of life. I've been walking this path for over 40 years, but I'm still a beginner. Yeah, I feel this way. I've been practicing for over 35 years, and I feel like a beginner in the sense that I don't know, where I'm going or what's next. But I've found a place and a path, for sure. The practice of Zazen, of doing one thing at a time, of fully participating with every breath, with every step, with every conversation, with every twig, with every rock, with every taste. It's a place that is constantly changing, but always remains home. What's the path then? What's the path? The path is the commitment to continue to do that. Like Okamura says, when I made the commitment to study Zazen with Uchiyama Roshi, the path opened up. It wasn't in service to an idea, it wasn't in service to a ideology, it wasn't in service to a personal agenda even. It was in service to a practice of awakening to true nature. So there the path opened up. And that for me was the clarity of the path opened up for me when I took Jukai. When I took the vows and I realized that the Zen path was the path for me. I didn't know what it would entail, but I knew it was the way I wanted to grow and unfold in my life. So it was that commitment to continuing to return to that place. And it's always participatory. We can constantly get pulled back into assessing and analyzing and mapping out, our path, if you will, or what we think the path is. But it's it's one of my jobs as a teacher is to keep knocking my students back into participation out of any ideas they have about who they are or where they are on a path. So to constantly and always continuously help you find yourself as what is emergent right now in this moment. That's your true nature. Our ideas are very seductive, aren't they? When I have a good idea, I kind of beautiful. And some ideas are beautiful. Some ideas are beautiful. Some ideas are big. Some ideas are inspiring. Some ideas are clarifying. Yeah. But so many of the conceptualization it's actually not inspired ideas like that. It's more planning and worrying and strategizing and organizing and orienting. Investigate the whole sky so I know where I stand and where everything else stands. That's the common function of that conceptual mind, this conceptual mind that's happening. But it is seductive, right? It is, where you have such a draw, to kind of abide there. And abiding there is not participating in life. That's the gap. That's the separation that we want to close. It's kind of funny, that image of the fish trying to investigate the entire ocean before swimming. I mean, it's in the water. It's there. So it's happening anyway. All it needs to do is like, right? That's what we need to do, just breathe. Breathe it in. It's a very simple practice, or zazen. It's a very simple practice. So just allow your life to be here. Just live. The words that came to me for a moment were stop resisting, and then I didn't want to tell you to stop doing anything. Then you're resisting your resistance and you have more resistance. So don't stop. Don't go. Yeah, just participate, right? Just participate. As you are, as yourself. That's it. Enter into your life. Each moment. And I could say, yeah, notice the ways that you're not doing that. Notice the ways that what's getting in the way of you participating, holding you back from participating. Yeah, and then maybe you decide to get in the game. And don't worry too much about how things will pan out. Because actually, when you really put yourself into it, things open up. Things do pan out. There's a quote from Okamura. He actually talks about this. He says, when I actually committed myself to the practice of zazen, just things started to happen for me. And that definitely was the case in my life too, and I know it's the case in many of yours too. When you make that commitment to practice, then things open up to support that. People emerge, teachers emerge, colleagues, peers, Dharma brothers and sisters, as we call them, emerge to support you in that path. It's inescapable. I guarantee you it will happen. It's happened to everybody in this room. You opened a door, you opened a window, and teachers and peers and practice opportunities appeared. And it will continue to do that more and more and more, the more and more you maintain your, your focus of doing one thing at a time with that heart, that humble heart of participating. So I appreciate it's all coming together here. Practicing in a group is so much richer and beautiful, more beautiful, than practicing alone. And for all of you online, you're very much participants, in the session here. We've got you on the big screen, so we see all of your faces. We'll be launching our One Body Sangha in the next month, and with a great deal of intention and design around practicing in a virtual environment in a way where everyone really is able to participate fully and feel this co-creative participation through this very strange digital medium. So it's something of an experiment, but isn't life an experiment? So we'll invite all of you into participation, in that way. But here we are. So we have another half day today, and then another half day tomorrow. So just to continue to throw yourself into